Now we'll discuss a very interesting topic. Actually, every Python topic is interesting, but this is something that will be like useful to you in almost every part of your programming journey, which is control statements, specifically if else statements. Okay, and as the name suggests, if else. Okay, like you might see that you use if else as part of your vocabulary so often. Okay, and it's like, if it rains, then I will carry my raincoat. Okay, or if he arrives on time, then we'll go for a party. Or if the train gets late, we'll be late for the journey. Okay, so if this happens, then something will happen, right? So same thing, if then or if else. Okay, else part is something which is quite opposite of if. Okay, quite not opposite, but quite something which doesn't happen. If the condition doesn't happen, then else will happen. Okay, if this doesn't happen, then I will do this, like that. Okay, so let's jump onto it. Okay, so as it's a new topic, it's if else statements. Okay, and this is going to be a series of lectures, series of sessions, because this will try to understand from the most basic level as much as possible. Okay, so if you remember, in one of your past sessions, I told you one of the use cases of modulus operator or mod operator. Okay, let's carry from that. Okay, suppose I give you a question. This will help us understand this topic better. We write a code to check if the given number is even or odd, or specifically if the given integer is even or odd. Okay, it's a valid question. Now suppose I have a equals to 5 and a is even or odd. So a is 5 and 5 is odd, right? If you remember, I told you the modulus operator. Okay, the modulus operator. So if I do 5 mod 2, it is actually 1, stating that when you divide 5 by 2, you get remainder as 1. That means, what does it mean? That 2 completely doesn't divide 5. 2 doesn't completely divide 5. Or in fact, 5 is odd. Okay. So it's a general idea, okay, which you can remember or maybe not even need to remember. Okay, the even number mod 2 will be actually giving you 0, because even numbers are divisible by 2, and odd mod 2 will be resulting in 1, because odd numbers are not divisible by 2, and they leave a remainder 1. In fact, if you divide any number by 2, you will either get 0 or 1. This is also one logic to remember. Okay, nice, perfect. So AJ, why are we discussing this? Like, how can we use this concept in this problem? So basically, you can write a code which will decide which statement to run, which flow to go to, which code flow to go to, depending on the criteria, depending on the condition. This is where the condition of, or where the use case of if else statements comes into picture. Let's understand. Okay, so suppose I write a equals to 5 and 5 mod 2 equals to 0. Tell me, is this condition true? And you know equals to means equality check. No, 5 mod 2 is 1, which is not 0, so it's false, right? So just see how I will use this condition in collaboration with if else to answer this question. Okay, so I'll first write code and then we'll understand it line by line. So let's say n is equals to 7. Okay, and I write if n mod 2 equals to 0, okay, then print even, else print odd. Okay, so let's understand this code. As you can see, there is only one single condition, which is n mod 2 equals to 0. Okay, so it's like you are asking if whether this condition is true or false. If this condition is true, if this n mod 2 is actually 0, then you will print even. So this is called if block. This is called if block. and you get into the if block only if the condition in the if statement is true. In simple terms, if this condition is true, enter the if block, otherwise, else is like otherwise, enter the else block. Simple, binary, if, else. If this is true, do this, else do this. If it rains, I'll carry umbrella, otherwise I will not carry umbrella. That. What will happen? 7 mod 2 is not 0, so you will actually this condition will result in false, and that's why you will go to the else part and it will print odd. By this time, you might have understood that at any point of time, either this statement will run or this statement will run, but both will never run together. So this means that if and else will never run together at the same time. Either if will run or else will run at any point of time. So this is what I was trying to say by opposite, but opposite might not be the right term for that. Okay. So this is your simple code. Now you can put any value of n. I can copy this. I can paste it here. I can say n is, let's say, 8. Mod 2 is 0. So this time this condition is true, and you will enter the if block stating that it is even number. Okay. So now you can actually combine your knowledge and you can use formatted string. You can write n is even, or here I can write formatted string n is odd. So this becomes more sophisticated code. Okay, 8 is even, copy this, make this 5, and 5 is odd, like this. Very interesting. Okay, so yeah, this was pretty much about basic use case of if else. In the next upcoming sessions, we'll understand this in more depth.